Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending on what time you're watching this. It is Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. It is 8:10 in the morning. Okay, this is question 9 of 100 Bible questions and answers. Question 9. Why does the Gospel of Mark have additional verses that are disputed? A close look at the end of Mark's Gospel reveals footnotes explaining that verses 9 through 20 of the last chapter are not found in all early manuscripts. Why are these verses disputed? When the King James Version of the Bible was translated in 1611, access to Greek manuscripts of the New Testament was much more limited than today. Modern scholars can access thousands of Greek manuscripts to better investigate any variations between manuscripts. Since the translation of the King James Version, two important Greek manuscripts discovering include the Codex Vaticanus and the Codex Sinaiticus, representing the two earliest copies of the New Testament in Greek, both in the 16th chapter of Mark's Gospel after verse 8. In addition, early church writers noted multiple endings of Mark as early as the 2nd century. Between the 2nd century and Jerome's Latin translation of the Bible in the 4th century, a shift occurred from writers arguing for the shorter ending as original to most manuscripts, simply copying the longer ending to provide a more satisfactory conclusion to the account. Because of this history, nearly all other manuscripts of Mark included the longer ending, either alone or with notes of other endings. Because the longer ending is in most manuscripts, many have assumed it must be the earliest ending. However, we do not only count manuscripts, we also evaluate them. Based on the evidence, there is certainly a strong case to be made that the two earliest manuscripts may include the earliest text that ends after verse 8. Many have questioned how Mark's gospel could end with the unresolved idea of the women fleeing the tomb in fear. Some have suggested Mark was left unfinished, either intentionally or unintentionally. If intentional, the emphasis may have been similar to the end of Jonah, in which the writing intends to make the reader consider the events rather than providing the full ending to the story. Alternatively, it has been suggested that Mark's book functioned as a set of unfinished notes with no intention of having a summary as its conclusion. If the shorter ending was unintentional, this would indicate the original ending was lost. Though unlikely, if the longer ending was added later, it was certainly because it seemed too abrupt in comparison to the other Gospels. In fact, the best explanation for the addition of the longer ending would have been seeing the narrative in need of a final summary to match the other Gospels. In either case, it has been noted that no major Bible teachings are affected. The one